first story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to sign a document my late dad's wife is pressuring me to? My father passed away 3 years ago from lung cancer, which spread to his brain toward the end. It was an awful time for us, and I miss him terribly. My mom died when I was 15, and when she died, her life insurance/death in service benefit paid out, and it paid off the rest of the mortgage on the house. Due to my dad being, at the time, an aggressive alcoholic, I moved out when I was 16. We still maintained a rocky relationship, and then later years, we were much better, and we were very close. I loved him so much despite the bad stuff. A couple years later, he met his girlfriend. Eventually, they got married around 2015. I never totally got on with her, nothing in common, and hard to relate with. But my dad was happy, and we had a polite relationship, as I wanted my dad to have a companion. I've never considered her a stepmom. Anyway, after he died, I found out that his will had been changed 2 weeks before he passed, whilst he had a large brain tumor. Without my knowledge, I am one of the executors, so quite surprised I wasn't told. Which meant the sale of my parents' home would go from being split 3 ways, to her getting half, and my brother and I the other half to split. We were not happy with how this went down, but we have to accept the change to the will and moved on. She has now decided she wants to sell because she wants to move. She mentioned she wanted to get some work done on the house to increase the sale price, and I emailed her saying not to spend much as it wasn't worth it and it was unnecessary. She invited me over a few weeks ago to see the work and to give me some documents. When I got home, I looked at the document she wanted me to sign, agreeing to deduct nearly £16,000 from the sale of the house to pay herself back for the work. Some of it was done ages ago, and clearly for her living comfort, and other paperwork only gave quotes for work, not actual receipts or invoices. The terms of the will are that she could live there until her death, but she is responsible for the upkeep and maintenance as well as bills. She has lived there for 14 years rent-free with my dad, and 3 years without him. My friends, family, and I think is an absolute piss take to ask us for this money, considering it is our family home, which not only did both of our parents have to die for her to get, but is our only inheritance from our parents. She is now pressuring me to agree to this, and I am not happy I am being bullied by her to sign. She wrote the document, not a solicitor, and no solicitor has been involved from her end about this. She has now told me she will withdraw the property from the market if I don't agree. Which honestly, even though I am struggling financially and need to pay off debt, I don't care about, because if she lived there until she died, then the house will just go to me and my brother, and her adult kids won't benefit from my parents. So, am I the a-hole for protecting what's left of mine and my brother's inheritance? Edit. Thank you all for your advice and help. It's been very reassuring for me. I'm speaking to legal assistance Friday. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Don't sign that. She wants to take advantage of you. Exactly. My husband is absolutely adamant that I don't let her bully me. I just suck with confrontation, and she's blackmailing me now. Edit. The blackmail is more of the threat of saying, if you don't sign it, I won't sell. Which, to be honest, is ridiculous. But maybe blackmail isn't the right word. I got the email yesterday saying that, and I was furious. I'd take it a step further and contest the will. You can probably change it back to the original agreement, considering your father's brain tumor. I'm sorry for your loss, by the way. This can't be easy on top of it all. But I'm not a lawyer. I did see a solicitor at a time when we realized the will had been changed, and was told it was a waste of time. I'm starting to think I should get a different opinion, but I can't afford a big legal battle. Not the a-hole. She is being shady. I would contact the solicitor if your father changed his will 2 weeks before his death with a brain tumor. It could be contested. I tried in the beginning and was told it was very difficult to contest the will, and as I was grieving and in a bad place at the time, so I just buried my head in the sand. She has made everything difficult since, and even blocked my access to the house. It's been hell. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for not giving my child's survivor's benefit to my stepchildren? My child's father and I were together for 5 years and have a 2-year-old child together. Well, before we met, he struggled with alcoholism, which had caused problems in his first family. He had 2 children prior, who he wasn't a good father to, as he was mostly absent on benders. They were raised by their mother, who is apparently nice but flaky. By the time I met him, those kids were both over 18, and he had had years of recovery, so it was hard for me to judge. He was a loving and attentive father to our child, and so I didn't think about it. He died of liver failure when my child was 2, and now it's just us. He had nothing but a medical debt, which I didn't inherit thankfully as we weren't married, so all my child has is survivor's benefits until they are 18. My child's father's 2 older children, my stepchildren, are both over 18, so they aren't eligible for anything. I currently use it as child support and save as much as possible for college and a future nest egg. My stepkids have figured out that as a minor, my child is getting money and are clamoring for their share. They are claiming that since it's the only inheritance, it should be split equally among all 3 of his children, not just all for the one who was the lucky age. They also say that because he was absent and bad for them, they deserve his money. It isn't more anyway. They've gotten some of his relatives to agree with them, and now I'm stuck choosing between risking my child's future or risking burning bridges that I'd rather not burn because they are my child's only connection to their father. I am currently refusing. I realize that he was bad and absent, but I don't think that's on me or my child to fix. But is the money worth nuking half my child's family relationships? Not day hall. Do not agree to sacrifice your young child's future to give the Social Security money that is intended to help you raise your child to 2 grown adults. If you do this and Social Security finds out, your child could lose benefits or you may no longer be allowed to be the representative payee for your child. Send every single person who is harassing you about illegally diverting your child's benefits to his grown children this link and tell them that you have no intention of breaking the law. The people who are harassing you are not your child's only link to his father. Your child has you, and any of his father's family members who are trying to steal from a fatherless 2-year-old in violation of federal law are not people you need around your child. I wish I could give you an award. This is an absolutely perfect way to shut them down. Not the a-hole. Not only are you not the a-hole, what they're asking you to do wouldn't be legal. There are guidelines on what you may use Social Security survival benefits for, and handouts to other family members aren't on the list. If you're getting a lot of pushback from them, maybe let them know that Social Security disallows you from doing that. Not the a-hole. I would 100% like to see children of the deceased getting a fair share of inheritance, even if only the new family is officially granted it. This isn't inheritance. Having a parent die sucks. Having a parent die poor sucks. There is no inheritance here, and that sucks. But it's not on you to take from your child to make up for your partner dying poor. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for moving out because my girlfriend moved her mom in? A few months ago, I was near the end of my lease, and instead of renewing it, my girlfriend asked me to move in with her. Our relationship was at that level, and she needed help with rent since her hours were cut, and she had been dipping into her savings to get around, so it just made sense. I ended up paying 60% of all shared costs. We were going to go 50-50, but since her hours were cut, and I already made more than her before that happened, so I figured it would allow her to replenish her savings. It was pretty great for a few months, until she, out of the blue, told me her mom was going to come live with us as she had lost her job and house. I told her I was not comfortable with that and asked if there were alternatives. She said that she could live with her grandma, her mom's mom, but that her mom felt it was humiliating, so that was a no-go. I still told her I was not okay with this. Apparently, living with her adult daughter and her boyfriend is less humiliating. Now, it is worth noting that her mom is, well, weird. She is very obsessive, entitled, high maintenance, puts her nose where it doesn't belong, and is a very dominant do-it-my-way type of person. She once had a meltdown because my girlfriend baked a cake for her nephew's birthday, and so did her mom. She did not know about this, but my girlfriend's cake was better. And cue meltdown. I got dozens of stories like this. My protests were ignored, and 4 weeks ago, her mom moved into the guest room. Day one was already a crap show. I was going on a grocery run and noticed my grocery list had a ton of extra stuff on it. When I asked, her mom said she added it. So I asked her for money, and she said she had none, and my girlfriend acted like I was a jerk for asking. It turned into an argument with my girlfriend where she said it's her name on the lease, so her choice who lives there. Long story short, I noticed in the store all of the stuff she added was brand stuff and costs way more. And when I got to the cash register, I had to pay $220, where I usually spend like $90 at most for the two of us. I put it on my girlfriend's card, cause hell, I ain't paying for that. When I got home, I called a buddy, asked him if I could crash at his place for a bit, a few weeks at most, while I look for a new apartment. He asked his girlfriend, and they called me back later giving me the okay, and I moved out the next day. I am moving into a new place in a week. Obviously, we were barely on speaking terms when I left. Now that we started talking again, she has been adamant I am in the wrong, and the only reason I did what I did was because it was her mom and not someone else. Had it been her dad, I would have been fine with it, and I can't deny that, lol. Her dad is great. Am I the a-hole here? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Look, this is not okay. You should feel comfortable in your own home. If you pay bills there, you get a voice. Your girlfriend has diminished your voice and claimed ownership and all rights to the decision. Your best chance here is to tell her that since it's her on the lease, she can figure it out then and move out. It's not cruel to do this since this is not what was agreed to. You have every reason to not to want to live with her mother. That was my thinking too. Like, sure, it is your name on the lease, but I'm footing most of the bills. And to be clear, I already moved out. I am at a buddy now and moving into my own place in a week. Not the a-hole. She made you believe that you were sharing an apartment until it came to decision that you couldn't agree on. Then it's her apartment. So you did the right thing because now you can do what you want in your apartment. Not the a-hole. She made a unilateral decision. While that may be her prerogative, since the lease is in her name, you are under no obligation to stick around if you're not on the lease. You're also under no obligation to pay for the mom's food. She's a guest. Unless she has dietary restrictions due to medical needs, she should eat what is available and not dictate you buy other stuff. Added to add, your relationship probably won't survive this, nor should it. You will be dealing with this sort of behavior for the rest of your life if this is the sort of thing she does. Well, added to that, why would I pay it all for someone I don't want there in the first place? And I have considered that we may not survive this as a couple, but this is a hill I am willing to die on. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.